Okay, I'm basically going to go ahead and go through my system. I want to give you guys an idea of what I've put together. I've been kind of talking about it over the past 5 months since I've been building it, but never kind of the overall system as it is as a whole. So, starting with the fish tank. Essentially, I went with a 4 foot wide by 8 foot long by 4 feet deep tank that I built out of 2x4 and OSB. And in essence, what I did was I went with a 2,600 gallon per hour pump. And the 2,600 gallon per hour pump obviously was purchased with the idea that I can expand going down the road. Currently I'm set up with 2 grow beds, and I hope to expand to either 4 or 6 down the road. But in the meantime, because it's pumping so much additional water, I had to essentially put a release valve, which is what you see right here, to expend some extra water to release the pressure that was going to the 2 current grow beds. Right here is the 4-inch pipe that actually is where everything dumps into and goes and returns back to the tank itself. Currently, the tank is not filled with fish. I will be adding fish in tomorrow. I've been currently trying to get it cycled up, and I'm right now just working on the pH. Everything else seems to be hunky-dory. Alright. I also have a 55-gallon barrel for top-off water. Being in Arizona, heat is always the biggest issue, and evaporation is a prime concern. So I brought this along and filled this up, and we'll use that to top off the tank when it's necessary. Alright, here's the first of the grow beds. I went with a 3 foot wide by 8 foot long by 1 foot deep. And in essence, what I did was I went from the tank, starting with the pump, ran a 1-inch piece of PVC to essentially guide that into the grow bed itself, and adjusted a ball valve in order for me to be able to control the water. Added in just a few plants, but I'll be adding more in as soon as I possibly can. The second grow bed, what I did after I built that one is essentially just add in a T-valve and then continued running the water going in and adding it in here. Forgive the chicken, she's not happy right now, she's making herself known. And so put in the second bed, we're using a lava rock or cinder rock instead of hydrogen. It's cheaper, you can get it locally sourced, and it does just as effective a job as hydrogen. Probably not nearly as good, but it does hold the water and retain it very well and keep it near the roots where it needs to be. As for the siphon, this was just a handmade deal. We basically started with a 4-inch on the outside, cut some slats in there to protect the main siphon from the rock media itself. The inside siphon is made up essentially of a 3-inch pipe and then a 1-inch in the center to actually act as the main siphon. This plastic on top was essentially set up just to create a seal. We've got the cap, and I just used some extra plastic material to actually create the seal there versus actually sealing the pipe altogether. Did the same thing on the first grow bed. We have an external overflow pipe, so it'll just run it off into the ground if it ever does not siphon like it's supposed to and just keeps pumping water into the tank, which is not necessarily a good thing. I might eventually decide to just run that back to the tank, but for now that's as is. And then as you can see through here, I went ahead and have started using a shade cloth. And the reason for that was I have a good friend who's also doing his aquaponics setup, and he did not have any kind of shading, and the sun essentially just played havoc with his plants. They did not have the kind of growth that he was expecting. As soon as he put the shade cloth up, this material basically cuts about 85% of the stuff that basically the plants don't really like. And it does a very, very good job. This is strawberries, and the problem with strawberries, of course, you can see here is a little yellowing and whatnot with the green veins. and that's because I'm still in the process of getting the pH adjusted to where it needs to be. You want your pH to be between 6.8 and 7.0, so you have a good pH that's both healthy for the plants as well as healthy for the fish. Anything above or below that, and you're basically compromising one or the other. I used cinder blocks for the base, and I used essentially scrap pieces of wood and some shims to get everything leveled out, and that seemed to work really well. That was actually probably one of the longest portions of the whole build, was just trying to get that leveled out just right. But thankfully that worked out pretty good. And as you can see, got plenty of room to expand. And I plan on getting there when I can get there. I don't know exactly when I'll get there, but for the time being at least, we have enough here to get the going and getting everything the way it needs to be.